Welcome to The Rest Between Sets, a podcast about health, wellness, and the real lives behind the workouts. I'm Rebecca, a physical therapist and a strength coach who has had some really good conversations with athletes while they're resting between their sets. I've gotten some really good life advice, and so every week I sit down with members of our gym and our community to talk about what it really takes to be strong in the gym and in life. Today's guest on the podcast is Burt. And he is a pastor here in Charleston, and he has a ton of great insights into the connection between spiritual health and physical health. Hey Ben, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. Yourself?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me at your church. This place is amazing.
Well, thank you, but it's not my church. It belongs to somebody else who I work for.
Yes.
But yes, I get to be here all the time, which is a lot of fun.
Yes, and it's so close to the gym.
Yes,
That's
super
nice.
convenient.
I didn't realize how close it was. It's only like 5 minutes away.
West Ashley has everything you need. Mm-hmm. Faith, fitness, food, what more?
All the F's.
Yes.
And friends, friendship.
Done.
And family. There you go. So many F words.
Check them all off.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So I have the absurd privilege of being one of the pastors here at Grace United Methodist Church, conveniently located on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard. I get to serve alongside Pastor Kim Bryant, who's the other pastor here, and an amazing staff that God has put together.
Yeah. That sounds like a really rewarding job.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
How long have you been doing it for?
I've been at Grace for a little over 4 years now. So I'm in year 5, and I've been in ministry, ordained ministry for 9 years before I got here.
Okay, wow, so it's a good long time.
Yeah.
So I'm Catholic. In the Catholic Church, the priests are like assigned to the churches. Is that how you guys are, or do you kind of apply to different churches, or how does it work?
No, so the United Methodist Church is the closest thing to Catholicism in terms of clergy deployment. Clergy are deployed based on the bishop and the district superintendents getting together and prayerfully discerning who should go where. So they talk to the people in the local church and ask, what are you looking for? What are your needs? What's going on in your community? So they have information as they're praying who should go where, but the clergy don't get to decide where we go. Like, if you want to go somewhere, the worst thing you can do is ask to go there, because then you'll never go there.
Ah, okay. So you didn't ask to end up here?
No, but I never would have thought to ask for grace. Like, this is, when I was serving over on James Island, like, this was a distant future for me. I never would have thought, but by the grace of God, I get to be here, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you know that you wanted to be a pastor, like when you were growing up?
That's a better question. Usually it's not framed quite that way. You mentioned growing up. I didn't know I wanted to be a pastor growing up, but
okay.
What's funny is I wasn't supposed to watch The Simpsons as a kid. My parents were like, no, you're not allowed to watch The Simpsons. It's not good television.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they weren't looking, I was watching.
Of course.
And I felt this strange draw to Ned Flanders, and I couldn't understand why. I was acting more like Bart. I had the wisdom of Homer, but I felt this draw to this overt Christianity that Ned Flanders had, even though it was a caricature of Christianity. Yeah. It was just really, it drew me in. But it was actually when my wife was going to college, 'cause she went after I went to college. We were dating at the time, and I reached out to people in my family, people in my community, people in my church. I was like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What do you see in me? And a bunch of people said ministry, and I was like, well, that might be it. And
So there's a lot of public speaking that goes along with this, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like the number one biggest fear for most people. Was that ever a problem for you, like being afraid to speak in public, or did you just kind of like lean into it pretty naturally?
I'm not going to say I'm good at it. I'll let other people put adjectives on how well I do or don't speak publicly these days. But I was abysmal when I started. Like, I remember going to church, and we were at a big church, but it was a small Saturday evening service that had just started, and we were helping to grow it. There's maybe 50 people there. And one Saturday evening, the pastor, like 10 minutes before, was like, Ben, I want you to read this scripture. And I grabbed the Bible and I thumbed through, and I was like, I can't, I'm sorry. I just don't, I can't, I need more time to prepare, even though it was just reading words from a page. So then she gave me gave me a scripture passage a few weeks later. It's like, we're going to read this the following week. Why don't you try reading it? You need to get used to this if you're going into ministry. It's like, okay. So I went home and I practiced, and it was the driest reading. I thought I was going to sound like Shakespeare or something when I read it, but it was just dry and monotone and boring. But
were you nervous at all?
Incredibly.
Okay.
No idea what I was doing.
Okay. So it's something that kind of got better with time.
I believe so, but once again, I'm more comfortable with other people putting adjectives on me rather than trying to put them on myself.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Well, and so now you've been working out at the gym for what, like over a year now?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
What made you decide to start working out? Had you worked out before? Did you do any sports or anything?
Yeah, so I grew up playing sports, rollerblading a lot, and then I got into my 20s and just fell in love with beer and cigarettes. Mm-hmm. And those were not helpful for my health and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy either one anymore, but I liked working out, and then I hurt my back, and then I just didn't really work out for a season. Then I started working out on my own at home, doing mostly upper body so I wouldn't hurt my back. Mm-hmm. And I would say it was the grace of God that drew me to the gym, because there were things going on in the life of my denomination that was tumultuous, we'll say, scandalous. Mm-hmm. And I was going to have to help lead people through a very difficult season, and it was at that time that Mark and Samantha, who were showing up here on Sundays, were like, yeah, why don't you come to the gym? We got to bring a friend day. Mm-hmm. And I went the first time, and I fell apart in a pool of sweat after like 5 minutes because I couldn't do anything. So out of shape. And I loved it. And you all were just so supportive and encouraging, like, yeah, come back. Mm-hmm. And so I got involved, and it was the exact medicine I needed, because as the anxiety in every United Methodist congregation was escalating dramatically because of things that were outside of any individual's hands, I had this release valve that I desperately didn't know that I was going to be in need of, but God did, and He got me right where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And you've been coming like pretty consistently for a long time. Do you feel like, have you seen any like connection between like spiritual and mental health and physical health?
Yes. Paul speaks about this in Romans and 1 Corinthians. And I apologize, I can't give you chapter and verse.
That's okay.
But he points out that your body is not your own. Mm-hmm. It's a temple for the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
So we should take care of our body and present it the way you would take care of the sanctuary of a church. Make sure it's in order, clean, maintained. Mm-hmm. Don't fill it with a bunch of trash. And so what I find at Hustle One is this desire to work out, which inspires me to be better with my dieting. Mm-hmm. And so it helps me at least do a better job of fulfilling what Paul is saying, that how we care for our body is part of our spiritual worship. And it's, God just wants us to take care of the body that God gave us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, I think that's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, and you also do a lot of running, right?
Currently, yes. It's more of a speed waddle, but that's what I'm currently trying to do, because I'm trying to lose the summer fat. Like, I work backwards from everybody else. Everybody else loses weight for the summer, and I go on vacations and gain weight, and now I'm just trying to whittle back down because I'm getting too big for my britches, and I'm not going to buy new britches.
Oh, I seen you on Strava. You're putting in a lot of miles.
I'm trying.
Which team are you on?
Ravenclaw.
Oh, that's good, because they're in like last place, so they need all the help that they can get.
Yes, we are mighty though.
That's right. Small but mighty.
Yes, the little engine that could.
Mm-hmm. Are you training for anything?
I maybe. I'm working on my 5K because I just like 6 miles.
Mm-hmm. So
or 6 and a quarter. Or 10K, yes.
Yeah, 10K then.
Because it takes about an hour, you burn about 1,000 calories, and it's just, it's an easy thing. Like, I don't want to get on a rower, I don't want to be somewhere for the same, I don't want to feel like I'm in a static position for an hour, and I don't know anything else that I can just go release my mind and burn that many calories in an hour. So
yeah.
it's good, for me at least.
Can you run to the Greenway from here?
I've never tried from here.
Okay.
So since I live over by the old Hustle One location, I just go out my driveway, down the street, over to the Greenway, and then take it out to the end of Johns Island. Or not to the end of Johns Island, but to the end of the Greenway at Johns Island. Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what is your favorite part of your job?
Ooh, that
Is it a hard question?
That is a really hard question, because there's, like, I joke around about this, but they could just stop paying me, and my wife would notice, but I wouldn't. It's just fun. So I can prove to you that I have the best job in the world.
Okay.
Because 99.999% of what I do, everybody else around me is doing it for free because it's so much fun. Like, I go into the sanctuary on Sunday morning, and I'm surrounded by people that are not getting paid to be there. I go to a committee meeting, and I'm surrounded by people who are not paid to be there. I go have coffee with someone to talk about their faith. They're not getting paid to talk to me about Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, all of what I do is just doing amazingly fun things. And who goes to a church and doesn't want to be able to share their thoughts on what's going on in the life of the church? Like, I remember when I would sit in the pew, I was like, man, that's a great ministry over there, but I wish that they would consider doing this, or why don't they think about doing that? And now I have access to all of those conversations. Like, it's great.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I have kind of a hard question for you next.
Sure.
So I'm a part of, how do you keep, like, drama from entering a large organization like this? Or better yet, like, if it does enter, like, what do you do to put a stop to it?
So the good thing is every organization has bylaws. And
do you guys have a constitution?
Well, no, we have a book of discipline. But even better than that, we have the Bible.
Yeah.
So we can take out the book of 1 Corinthians and chapter 13, which is often read at weddings, even though Paul doesn't like marriage. He's like, yeah, don't get married, guys, but if you can't keep your britches on, then go ahead and get married. So he's not a fan of marriage, and we always read 1 Corinthians 13 at weddings, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a tangent. 1 Corinthians 13 is how Christians should live in community with each other, with this love of Christ. Love is patient, it is kind, it is not arrogant, it is not boastful, it is not rude, it does not insist on its own way, it does not rejoice in wrongdoing, it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things, love never ends. And that's not just for husbands and wives or whoever's getting married, it's for all of us. Like, that's how we should engage. So if there's some level of discord happening, like, we can all just slow down, breathe, read 1 Corinthians 13 and just ask, are we embodying that? Because usually once we remember, oh, wait, supposed to do it that way, at least in the context that I work in, that usually helps. But then you just have coffee with individuals, because people see the world differently, and they're passionate about how they see the world, and how they view each other. And sometimes you just need to sit down with someone and just hash things out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's hard when you have so many people that care so much about the organization and their opinions are so strong that sometimes, people step on each other's toes and things happen. And
that's why we want to be... We want to make sure that we are patient and kind and not arrogant and not boastful and not rude. Have our passions. Live in our passions. We are told to don't be lukewarm. Be hot or be cold, but don't be lukewarm like that.
Yeah.
So it's not to drown out passion. Live with the passion, but express it in a way that is conducive to our own teachings.
I love that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Do you have any role models or people that have kind of helped influence you or shape you into the kind of pastor that you are currently?
Well, yes. If I don't say Jesus first,
obviously,
then I did something wrong.
I knew you were going to say Jesus. That was a trick question,
right? That's and of course after that Peter.
Yeah.
But people who I have seen with skin on in my lifetime. I would lift up first Dr. Bob Howell, who for 18 years was a senior pastor at Bethany United Methodist Church in Somerville. He was my pastor. He helped bring me into the ministry. He was my mentor. He was my friend. He was my supervisor when we both worked together in Greenville. And now he's just back to being a mentor and a friend. And he seminary teaches a lot of great things, and seminary is wonderful, but he taught me how to do the job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I would also offer, Reverend Dr. Jim Harris was my pastor growing up in Yankee country, because I'm a dadgum Yankee from New Jersey. So
How'd you end up in Charleston?
the grace of God.
Of course.
Of course. I ended up down here. Long story, skipping all of the good details in the interest of time, and my own embarrassment. I ended up transferring from one school down here to go to Johnson & Wales because I wanted to be the next Emeril Lagasse. I wanted to, bam, throw garlic in a pan and just say bam, and it'd be a great dish.
Yeah.
Like he made it look easy on TV, and then I started cooking, and I can burn water. Like, I'm terrible at it. So I got a degree in management, but I was here in Charleston, and I just kind of stayed.
Yeah. You just liked it so much.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of school do you have to go to be a pastor? Do you need a 4-year degree and then you have to go to seminary, or how does it work?
Well, yes. So every denomination does their own thing. Most mainline denominations require a bachelor's degree from an accredited university and then a seminary degree from an accredited seminary institution. The seminary degree that most pastors get is a Master's of Divinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more kind of tough question for you.
Okay.
So.
When are we going to get tough? These are fun.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
They're like softball pitches. I'm enjoying this.
Okay, good. Well, the last question is, so obviously last week, I think, was a really hard week for everyone, just like as a country.
Yes.
There's Charlie Kirk's assassination. There was a lot of other shootings. There was, there was the murder of that Ukrainian refugee, and then, of course, 9/11 anniversary. So obviously, like, things are getting like kind of divisive. There's a lot of discord, as we were talking about earlier. There's a lot of discord right now. Do you have any words of like hope or like unification that you would share?
Well, maybe. What I would say for this is, I have a job where I get to live with the understanding that one day God's coming back and God wins. And every knee will bow and every tongue will confess, and it's gonna get better. As we await that day, I still have hope that Christians will turn to our faith more than our politics, more than our cable news, more than our divisiveness, and remember that we are called to be ambassadors of love. And I realize it's not the cliche love of, I love a puppy or whatever, but God is love to the end that what we understand of God is this perfect being that just loves us so much. He sent his only begotten Son to suffer for us because he loves us that much. And if God could love us so much, he died for us on a cross while we were still sinners, how can we as fellow Americans who are Christian, and I realize not everybody's Christian, and that's okay, I'm not saying, I'm not speaking to that end, but those of us who profess a Christian faith, if God could love us while we were foreign to him, how can we not love each other even though we vote differently and have different hopes for what the world has? Like, why can't we get back to a place where we can say, I think differently than you, but I love you more than I care about politics? Like, we should not be buying weapons to hurt each other because we disagree. We should be finding ways to embrace and reconcile and love each other. And so once again, I understand that not every American is Christian, so not everyone is pulling in that direction, and then there's even Christians who aren't pulling in that direction. But I do believe that when people look into Scripture, they should, I believe, and I believe the Orthodox faith, not denomination Orthodox, but the true transcendent timeless faith that dates back to Jesus' teachings, points us to turning the other cheek and loving each other. And so I believe that we will get there.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and chatting with me today. This is awesome.
So when do we get to interview you is the question. When is the episode of us the people turning back to the coach and asking questions like, what is your favorite part of Hustle One? Or if you could change one thing about us as your clientele, what is the one thing you would change or?
I just want you guys to continue verbalizing your complaints. I love that.
Yes. Well, I'm good at that.
Yes,
you never have to worry what I'm thinking.
That's right. I know exactly what you're thinking.
Herpes or misery.
There you go. Because when I hear complaints, I hear complaints, but the interpretation in my brain is that we love being here and we love you.
Yes, no, that's what's behind it. Like, we wouldn't keep showing up to complain.
Yeah.
Like, if people go to a restaurant and the food is miserable, they're going to complain once, walk out the door, and never go back.
Right.
We keep going back because we know we need this, and we know you all are the most professional, prepared, loving, nurturing, compassionate people to give us what we need that we don't want. So I, on behalf of us, your people, I apologize that we are insufferably complaining, or at least I am.
I do sometimes think there's a lot of parallels between the gym and church, because most people that belong to a church and that belong to a gym recognize that those things are good for their overall health and well-being.
Yes.
But they kind of have to be coerced to go and do it.
I don't like coerce so much, but yeah, no, I
maybe that's the wrong word. Encourage.
Yes,
yeah, you're right. Encourage.
We like to motivate our people to yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, sometimes they have to be like pulled into it and reminded.
Yes.
Harassed.
We
haven't seen you in a while.
You know, we are fallen people living in a fallen world, and we all need help.
Yeah.
So God sends us people who can help us in the journey.
That's right. Cool.
God sent us you and James and everybody else at the gym.
Yeah, and River.
And River, yes, to lick all of the sweat off of our sweaty legs.
That's right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Ben. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you so much for listening to The Rest Between Sets, and thank you so much, Ben, for being an amazing podcast guest. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend.